888-775-3773. Let's go down to El Paso, Texas, and talk to Jonathan. Jonathan, welcome to the show. You're on with Tom Flynn.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, what's going on?
How
you doing, Jesse?
Hey, how can we help you, buddy?
Oh yeah, so first of all, I want to be the second person that's godless and proud about it.
So you're an atheist?
Now you know too. Yes.
You're an atheist. Have you ever believed in God?
Yeah, of course. I used to believe in God. I grew up in the church. I grew up in a black church, and pretty much, there was no question in God. Growing up, you know that as well as I do. So, there was no question in God at this time.
And what made you stop believing in God? Why did you stop?
Well, my whole thing is there were so many pastors out here that was, full of baloney. So many people just trying to make money, lying and all that. So I said, you know what, I'm going to just go to the source. I want to become a real Christian and tell the truth about it. You know what I mean? So what I decided to do was investigate the Bible myself, look into it, read about it. And the more I read about it, the more I looked into it, the more I realized how false it was.
That the Bible is false.
Oh, the Bible, all of it. Anyone who doesn't have...
I'll let Tom respond to this, but it sounds like you judged the preachers who were wrong and turned away from God. And you
No. Oh, go ahead.
You can't judge God by... You can't look at the preachers and then judge God.
Well, my dad, I agree with you. My dad, that was the first thing my dad told me. He said, you don't trust in man, you trust in God.
Yeah.
That's why I went to God's writings. And they were all... loaded with BS. But
Tom, what do you say to Jonathan, Tom, in that he looked at the preachers who were wrong and judged them and turned away from God?
I say to Jonathan, hey, way to go, man. The one thing we have to look at is...
But you're not supposed to... Go ahead, Tom, I'm sorry.
But here's the thing, Jesse. If we're looking at religion, we're looking at this phenomenon that's out in the human world. We're looking at the preachers. No two ways about it. The preachers are there. Now, is God there? If you're a person of strong faith, you don't have any doubts about that. If you're not, that's a very open question. I don't, as a questing person, I may not know God's there. I know the preachers are out there, and I have to judge on the basis of what I can see. So I think at the very least, if the preachers are behaving badly and teaching doctrines that don't make sense, that can't reflect much credit on the God that they're claiming to represent if he exists.
Well, the one thing I realize...
I'm going to disagree. Oh, go ahead, Jesse.
The one thing I realize about both of you guys is that Christianity or believing in God was a burden to you, and it seems that that's why you turned away from him. But a belief in God is freedom. It's not a burden. And apparently you guys were taught in the wrong way, and that's why you turned away from God, and now you feel free because you're not carrying that burden or false burden that you should not have been carrying anyway.
Jesse, the only burden that I had on me was that I felt that I was doing the wrong thing for my God. I felt like I was doing it the wrong way. So that's the only reason I wanted to look for the freedom and everything that everyone was telling me, that you'd probably tell me. That's what I was looking for, and it was nowhere to be found.
So you feel free now, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
As an atheist.
More free than ever.
And Tom, you said you feel free as an atheist, right?
Oh, very much so.
Well, that's where the problem is, though. Christianity is freedom. But
it's not. No, it is not.
Hold on, Jonathan. Let me hear from Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, Jesse, Christianity doesn't even claim to be freedom. How many hymns are there? And I'm not talking about the Catholic tradition. I'm talking about Protestantism that exalt in taking up the cross and taking on the burdens and suffering with Jesus.
I understand, man, but that's the wrong way to teach it. Jonathan, hold on. I'm going to take a break. Tom Flynn, thank you so much for coming on, man. We're going to have you back. You're an interesting person.
Oh, my pleasure, Jesse.
Okay, welcome back. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Merry Christmas. That was a very interesting discussion with Tom Flynn, Executive Director of the Council for Secular Humanism. let me go back to Jonathan. Then Mays, you'll be up next. Let me just finish this up with Jonathan. And Jonathan, out of El Paso, Texas, you said that you are a black atheist, right?
Yeah, I'm a black atheist.
And so you grew up a Christian, though, right?
Right.
And it was a burden for you being a Christian because of what reason?
Well, first of all, Jesse, as a reverend, let me ask you this: are we not born in sin?
Yes.
Didn't we fall from God because of our own fault?
But we didn't do it. Adam and Eve did it.
But I mean, as humans, though, we did it.
No, we
and
didn't.
then even now, we're born imperfect, are we not?
But listen, we didn't fall from sin. Adam and Eve did, and as a result, we have to suffer for that for a while. But there come a time when you overcome that, and then you're free. You have no more guilt. You don't feel like you carried a load.
Okay, and then as a Christian, I have to dedicate my entire life to Christ or God, right?
What do you mean by dedicate?
I mean, doesn't my whole life have to be dedicated to God? I mean, I have to, make sure I'm passing on His message, following His word, what He wants me to do.
Well, no, you have to allow Him, once you come into His presence, then He just guide your life. And there's nothing else you need to do. He'll just work through you. But because right now, Satan is guiding your life.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that true?
No, come on. There is no Satan, Jesse.
There's no Satan?
I mean, there might be a person out there named Satan somewhere, but there's no, devil like you're talking about.
And so, so you don't believe there's a Satan or a God?
Nah, come on. I don't believe in magic and monsters and stuff like that.
Where do you get this idea of magic from in relationship to God?
I mean, just in all the stories in the Bible.
Oh.
Magic. I mean, somebody turning someone into a pillar of salt sounds like magic to me. I don't believe in any of that.
And so now you just feel like you're in charge of your own life?
Yeah, and we all are. I mean, it's your decision to be a Christian, and whatever you think it does for you. I mean, that's your decision. It's my decision not to. We're all in charge of our own life. God is not here with us. You can feel like He's here in some type of way, but I've never been walking and bumped into God, Jesus, or anyone. Just people who say He exists, but who really knows? No one, who knows? There's no proof or evidence that there's a God.
How do you know that?
No one's been able to bring any forward, and no one. Everyone is so sure that it exists, but no one has any proof, not 1 ounce of proof that there's a God.
Has anyone proven that there is not a God?
I mean, have you proven that you're not talking to a fire-breathing dragon?
Answer that question. Has anyone proven that there is not a God?
No. I answer that easily. But then you have to ask
so why did you choose to believe that there? You said there's no proof that there is a God, and you believe there is no God. But no one has proven that there isn't a God, and you accept that.
Right. Well, you said it wrong. I don't believe in God. I'm not saying there is no God. No, I say there is no God. Like Jesse, do you believe in fire-breathing dragons?
You say that there is no God, but what?
I'm saying I don't believe in God. I say there is no God because I asked you, do you believe in fire-breathing dragons?
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
A fire-breathing dragon?
But that doesn't have anything to do with God.
Because you can't prove that they don't exist. You can't prove that one.
Hold on, man. Let me take a break. Okay, welcome back. 888-775-3773. Let me just go quickly back to Jonathan, then I move on. Jonathan, let me ask you one quick question. I have someone who want to ask you a question, all right?
Sure.
You're from El Paso. Where do you get your moral values from?
I mean, pretty much the way I was raised, the thoughts and decisions that I make, and I mean, my intelligence and logic, basically, the way I see and I look at things. I mean, I realize if I go and steal from people and it's okay for society to just steal from each other, nothing will be stable. If it's okay for us to kill each other, we won't make it as a society. Because
but you knew that, though. You realized those things when you were a Christian, right?
Yes, I did.
So you're still living those values?
No, I don't necessarily like. Christian value. I mean, the base fundamental value I don't even believe in. I don't even believe in God. I don't believe Christ is my Savior. So how could I have Christian values if I don't even believe in the basic idea of it?
Are you happy being a godless person?
Being a godless person. I love the way you say that. Yes. Yes, I am.
Jonathan from Louisiana John from Louisiana want to ask you a question, Jonathan. Hey, John, you're on with Jonathan.
Jesse, thanks for taking my call. Jonathan, I was listening to you, and I was asking myself, is when you sought the Bible, when you started looking into the Bible, and what were you looking for?
Well, I figured if I sat and read the Bible, from front to end, that I would understand what God actually wants from us, because I just couldn't trust anyone else that was saying it. So that's what I was really looking to find.
Well, you didn't find that answer in there?
Oh, no. I mean, before I even got to it, I was able to see that none of it was true.
So you read the entire Bible, and you did not find out what God was looking for us to do?
No, I didn't make it through the whole Bible before I stopped believing in God. What happened was I actually I made it through about 3 chapters or so, and then I started investigating other religions. I was in school at the time, by the way, so I was doing a lot of studying.
What caused you? What made you realize? You said that after reading the Bible, you realized that nothing in the Bible was true. What caused you to realize, Jonathan? What caused you to realize that nothing in the Bible was true?
Right. Well, first of all, let me correct. I'm not going to say nothing is true, but like all the false claims and the supernatural.
But what caused you to realize that those things were not true?
Well, like I told you, if someone living in 900 years old, the pillar of salt thing I mentioned to you earlier. I have no reason to believe any of those things are even possible or ever happened. There's no evidence, no proof for all of these things that happen in the Bible.
But you're not answering my question of what caused you to realize.
I'm saying, first of all, if you tell me you lived to 900, I'm going to need you to prove that or come with some type of evidence. None of these things match up with history. None of these events, any of them, they match up with. There's no evidence, no trace of them being true. So reading it caused it. Then investigating it further caused me to believe that I was right in not believing them. I know all those ridiculous laws. And
hey, Jonathan, let me ask. Were you raised by your father and mother?
Yes. Yeah. Actually,
Jonathan,
the truth is that I actually don't know my mother, but my father actually took care of me alone. And
what was your father a Christian?
Yes, he still is.
And was he a good example of a Christian?
I would say so. Yeah. He took care of his business. I used to have to go to church, every week. I think he was a good example. I still look up to and respect him as a Christian.
You do, but yeah. And so he was a good example of a person who believed in God.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Oh, okay. John, thanks for your call, man.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Jonathan, I want you to keep listening to the show. We're going to talk about this in the next hour. I think we'll be able to help you overcome your disbelief in God, because I clearly understand why you say that you don't believe, and you feel better by believing that you don't believe, because you're not carrying that burden, that guilt of trying to be a Christian, right?
Right. Well, I guess that's your conclusion on it. I just don't believe because there's no evidence. It's really that simple. You believe that you need physical evidence that God exists, right? No, any type of evidence, whatever type of, if you got some forensic evidence, any type of, I don't care what kind of evidence it is. But Jonathan, if you were not blind, you could see the proof of God all around you all the time. It's just that you're blind and can't see. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you could show me. I will, buddy. I definitely will. Thank you for calling me, man. Very good call. All right. All right.
This has been the Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show, produced by Bond Action. To access the podcast of this show, visit us on the web at bondaction.org.